I think Gymkhana Grid is the event that, you know, it's not enough people is doing around the world, you know, for young guys and everything, because it's all about having fun and play and to learn your car, to know how it reacts and how it works. Gymkhana Grid, it's a playground basically, but you can be learning a very good car control when you do it. And even if you don't do Gymkhana Grid, they should make their own tracks like this, just to have fun. And I think that's where the results come from in the when you're doing motorsport.
Like Gymkhana mixes every aspect of motorsport. So you've got your track racing. You know, like Johan Kristoffersen's come from like touring cars, so there's that element of it. And then you've got rallycross. Kristoffersen, Solberg, Ken Block, Rally, Ken, Petter. You know, they've all been there. And then it's like thrown in the mix, drifting, like this all together. That's combine every single skill that you have to race around this one track. Fastest time wins. So if you're a rally driver, you're looking at going in there going 90 left, crest here. Or, you know, it's like different mindset to a drifter where you're like, oh, clip point there, on, you know, sideways, slide here, slide there. Time attack's all about you taking the right apexes and stuff. So you have to kind of combine it all together to get past the time, which for me is insane because you have to use so much of knowledge and car control and stuff to actually do it. It's not like just, oh, he's a drift driver, he'll be fine, he'll win. No, not a chance. It might be a drifter, it might be a guy that's time attack or a touring car, or you have no idea. That's what makes it so cool.
Look, I've always believed Gymkhana for me is probably one of the best tests of a driver's ability. It's easy to set up any parking lot area space that you have. Doing events like this on a national level, international level, I think guys think, oh, we could actually do this. And I know there's a Gymkhana series that runs in SA. A lot of the guys are competing. It's like the Scooby Club with all the local guys. And I think that's the nice thing for me, is that you don't need to come with big money. Most of the guys from the Gymkhana perspective will get into it with their road going cars, and it's a real fantastic test of your driving ability. Precision, not about horsepower, knowing where to place your car. I think it's a really marketable event.
The mirrored course is set up to really focus on not only a quick car, but driving skill, to be able to drive through this course, not only grip driving, but having to be able to slide the car around several obstacles, because some of the situations are so tight that it would be much faster to slide the car, say around a small barrel, than drive. So there's a lot of car skill in the driving, and it's a very simple form of motorsport where you get to see both drivers competing on a mirrored course. So it's easy to see who's ahead and who's making mistakes and who can get across the finish line first. It's not only how good you can drive, it's how well you can set up the car, how good a car that you have that's not only quick but actually gets grip where you need it and where it will slide where you need it. So it takes a huge amount of skill and a great team behind you to be able to win a Gymkhana Grid. This year we brought out my Ford Mustang Unicorn to do some demos and a little event we're calling, I think, Speed and Smoke. So it's going to be really good. Enjoy coming down here. It's such a great base of motorsport fans that came out last year, and actually for the World RX down in Cape Town. So hoping to have a good turnout again this year.
I feel really good this year. I feel like I'm starting this year where I finished last year, which is really good. So we got some developments on the Mustang, which is really good. I'm feeling really quick this year, even though we qualified 12th, but I did get some penalties. So without the penalties, our times are really good. So I feel like I really want to push for a podium, so I feel like it is possible. Yeah, we had a big storm coming in, and it's convertible, so all the water from the storm just went everywhere into the ECU and all that, so we had to dry that out or let it dry. We can't just dry it out, so had to let it dry, and then yeah, the car was fine afterwards, luckily. So yeah, people really want to see South Africans do well. But also there's also that mind block from people that South Africans won't do well, which we actually really good drivers, but our cars aren't made for a Gymkhana type event. Like my car is a drift car, which is actually all the South African drivers, it's all drift cars, whereas the top guys from Europe are all in Gymkhana spec cars. So the times we're putting in the positions we're in as South Africans are really good. I mean, everyone who lives in this area is just motorsport frantic, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to see many fans there and many spectators as well.
We are counting tens once again. What do you say, South Africa? Come on!
Look, he's got the horsepower to drive to the line. Sure, can he get it going?
1:10.93, 1:10.83. 3. So it looks like
I think Jason's done
I
enough.
think Jason has done it by just about 6'10".
As this is my first time, it's totally different kettle of fish, with the fact that you've got to think about how to go around the track and learn two sides, mirrored images of a track layout, and to remember that. But for me, to get drifting out of my head, it's very much you're against the clock, and with drifting normally you don't have to, and you're against another person, and in qualifying it's the judged motorsport, so very, very different, and to have to change that, it's mad. First time round coming over here and actually seeing the track layout, it was completely different to what I anticipated and so much bigger, but tracking everything out, yes, I walked around with the track map, both sides, and then took the track map away and then walked it on my own, so managed to do that pretty well.
Well, yeah, like you say, we had a great time last year. Okay, I was fast, missed out in the finals, but this year is a new year, and I think the practice have gone really well, and now it's just to try to be flat out and not do any mistakes and try to win it again. It would have been also a big dream. We have a different car setup this year. We don't have a full tarmac spec like we had last year. This year we have more from the rallycross setup because we didn't have any other choices. But I think the car is actually even better this year than last year. Yeah. It starts to be a very international big event, that's for sure. I think to create something like this, that professionals, semi-pro and amateurs, can share the things together, and I think people can learn quickly from maybe some of the pro guys, for technology or driving style and everything. So I think it's a very nice combining thing where Gymkhana Grid is doing, so, and you also can get the locals in the country you're coming to shine in front of TV and the spectators. So it's a great opportunity.
I came out actually last year a couple of times and handed the ticket out, golden ticket, to the winner for last year. And I was helping them progress, and in that event, and then they came out and they competed against me. And then obviously knowing full well what they had learned last year, I know they were going to work hard to get the cars ready. They're eager, they're great guys, so they have all come with their A game. The cars are 100% ready. And this year just proves that everyone's got faster, so that doesn't make my life any easier at all. So I have to improve each time as well, which is a challenge for me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, to compete tomorrow and see where we can get. The first half of the track is nearly identical, I'd say, and then the lower half of the circuit, as in the end of the track, is completely different. So it's kind of you come in, and it's kind of like second nature now, the first bit, and you just go into a whole different zone of like where am I going and what obstacles are what. They've obviously moved slightly, so you have to work out the best lines and the fastest way around. There's like a floating ball now as well, which is quite cool. We've been hitting it, but we were like very close to it, and like, the wind's blowing it, and it's very interesting this year. I personally really love the circuit. There's some years where I've really not liked the track and not got on with it, but this seems to suit my driving. My car's like quite suited to it as well, so yeah, it's good. We've been here, there and everywhere. Obviously with like Ken making this possible is fantastic. Without him and what he's doing, it's insane. Like I've been actually on the plane over here, I was watching the Gymkhana files all about Ken. You can actually see where it's come from, what it's all about, which is insane. So it's a pinch yourself moment to kind of be out here with these guys. But yeah, like lucky for me, it's snowball effect, and I'm now friends with them and racing against them and with them, and that's insane. It's just a smile ear to ear,
And we have champions from all over the world this weekend, including guys from Japan, from Sweden and Norway, from all over Europe, so it's great to have such a contingent of very talented people here in Johannesburg to race. So, you know, I get to go out there and drive and have a lot of fun, but also it's fun to sit down and watch all the different drivers from all these different places use their skills in different ways to try and win. So it's going to be a fun weekend.
Look, what's cool, obviously with the back end of World Rallycross, you get guys like Peter and Johan that bring their WRX cars up here. So the all-wheel drive category is done and dusted. It's going to be between those two. And what's cool with this year's event, they've actually brought in a Pro-Am section, because unless you're in a World Rallycross car, the all-wheel drive guys don't stand a chance. But to have international drivers here, I think that's the exciting thing. For the guys that are part of the little Gymkhana local club here in South Africa, to be able to go door to door with guys like that, I think is a real thrill. So I expect the South Africans to do quite well. Wayne Hay did really well, our best all-wheel drive competitor last year. So he's wanting to go bigger and better and faster this year. But yeah, there's some serious big names. Dago Saito, I mean, that guy has brought a Corvette here that I think weighs about 900 kgs and has an equal amount of horsepower. It's unbelievable. Doesn't say much, but I mean, he comes with serious street cred. His first Gymkhana event as well. So I think from a spectator perspective, amazing, and also for the drivers.
Peter Solberg's been my idol since I was very small, and I met him for the first time last year when he came to test the track for World Rallycross, and we just hang out quite a lot, and he's a really great guy. And just to hang out with Peter Solberg and Luke Woodham, Bagsy, Ken Block at events like this is just amazing.